Hello, my name is Manny Caulk, your Fayette County Public Schools Service Superintendent. And this is Talks with Caulk, a weekly video program designed to provide timely and accurate information about current topics on the minds of our employees, students, staff, and community at large. Since COVID-19 forced the closure of our schools back in March, our teachers, staff, and leaders have worked diligently and tirelessly to ensure that we're providing high quality, engaging instruction, even though we're not physically with our students. And our families have been critical, encouraging children every step of the way, demonstrating flexibility and rising to every challenge. Even though we've had excellent student participation in NTI 2DL with rates nearly 95%, I want to thank you families for that. We know nothing can replace the magic that happens in our classrooms. Nothing can replace victory in the classroom. That's why we're excited at the prospect of welcoming students back to campus in January, if conditions with the virus allow. At every school across our district, our staff is hard at work to be sure we have precautions in place and protocols that keep students and staff safe. I'm here today at Tates Creek High School with Principal Marty Mills to see some examples of the steps our schools have taken to prepare. Marty, thank you for welcoming us to Creek Nation this afternoon.
Thank you, Manny. It's wonderful to have you here. I'd like to welcome you to Creek Nation. We're really proud of the work that we're doing here at Tates Creek. You know, we're Center Parkway built, and we take great pride in our school community. Some of the things that we have in place as far as our protocols, everyone who enters our building is wearing a mask. That is a non-negotiable. With masks with faculty, staff, and visitors. We have signage on all of our doors, letting folks know what is an entrance or an exit. We also, everyone that comes in is screened at the front door in terms of taking temperatures. We have hand sanitizer available, and our metal detectors are also active as well.
It's really great to see our plans in action. We first presented these health and safety measures to the school board as part of our re-envisioning, reimagining, and renewing plan back in July. But I think it helps our viewers to see that they're more than just words on paper. What other things do you have in place?
In our administration office and in our other offices, staff members are protected by plexiglass. We also have our social distancing markers on the floors throughout all of the hallways that point in directions. For our restrooms, we have implemented a new plan where there is a light on the floor, and before a student goes in, they tap the light with their foot to illuminate it, and that will indicate to others that someone is in the restroom. So we're trying to minimize the number of people who are in restrooms at the same time. Perfect. That means it's on. And then when they come out, they click it, and that means it's unoccupied. And to address our air quality issues, the board has approved for our district to purchase UV lights that will be installed in our HVAC system. And that installation is set to begin in December. And the idea behind that is that it will help to address and kill bacteria in our HVAC system before that air then flows into classrooms and other common areas in our building.
Well, you know, it seems like you're ready from a facility standpoint. What are you doing to develop your instructional plans?
Well, in terms of our registration process, yesterday I sent the registration form to our families, and I also included in that a comparison of what in-person learning looks like versus remote learning. And I broke it down into sections so that families would know just kind of what to expect. Of course, I can't give very specific information until I have the final numbers regarding how many students will be learning remotely versus in person. And additionally with our teachers, how many teachers will be in person and virtual. But we have a good idea of what that will look like in terms of synchronous versus asynchronous learning.
All right. Now, thank you for that insight, Dr. Mills. You give an excellent example of why this is part of the process is being driven at the school level. I encourage all of our families to respond to the registration forms you receive to help schools develop the best possible plans for our students. As our families are deciding whether to select remote or in-person learning for their children, we have received some questions about what we mean when we say we will return to on-campus instruction if conditions allow. Now, during Monday's meeting of the Fayette County Board of Education, our school board members made it clear they would only be able to return to in-person learning if our community can reduce the spread of COVID-19. The Kentucky Department of Health publishes a color-coded incidence map that assigns each county a color, green, yellow, orange, or red rating, depending on the number of new cases in each community. Fayette County, as you know, has been red since October 28th, meaning that we've had more than 25 cases per 100,000 residents. Now, our school board said Monday night that if Fayette County is red in late December, it could prevent us from being able to return to school in early January for in-person learning. And last week, Talks with Caulk, we saw that our cafeterias are ready to welcome students back. This week, here at Takes Creek, Creek Nation has shown us that our schools are ready as well. But it will take all of us working together to slow the spread of COVID-19 so we can actually return to in-person learning. Please help us, and I implore you to do so by wearing a mask and following the governor's red zone recommendations to reduce and limit your interactions with people from outside your household. Before we close, I want to pause to acknowledge that Veterans Day is this week. I encourage all of our staff and families to take time to salute the men and women who have put country before self by serving in our armed forces. Veterans are members of our families, employees in our district, and neighbors in our community. And we owe them a great deal of gratitude and debt.
We appreciate all those that you served in the wars and everything that you did.
And I'm so pleased that even though our schools are operating under NTI 2DL, our creative teachers and leaders at Veterans Park Elementary, Dixie Elementary, and many other schools across Fayette County have worked with their students to find ways to celebrate and salute our veterans. I look forward to connecting with you during the next Talks with Caulk. And remember, we are better together.